Friday, the 23rd of February. You're very welcome, guys. Hope you had a great week. So today I want to talk to you about why sentient AI is just another mimic we are blinded to. So let me explain. So first of all, take it from a computer scientist like myself, AI will never be human, and that's okay. There are different kinds of intelligence, and not all of it is human. Furthermore, humans are terrible at determining mimicry from the real thing. That is why camouflage exists in nature and is a successful strategy. Human beings being fooled into thinking AI is sentient or reasoning is the same as birds thinking a bug is a leaf. We all have these evolutionary blind spots, and we think something is what it's not. That example of a bug mimicking a leaf, for example, is very common in nature. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica, quote, leaf insect, any of more than 50 species of flat, usually green insects, are known for their striking leaf-like appearance, end quote. So we see these patterns all through nature. We see something pretending to be something it's not, and it's usually for survival reasons. Now, obviously that's not the case with AI. AI is not trying to survive. It's not sentient. It's not reasoning. However, we still can attribute qualities to it that it doesn't have, and that's on us. It's amazing how common this is in nature, and it's so common because it's very successful. Mimicry creates blind spots, and we all fall for it because it's in our nature. We really have an evolutionary blind spot when it comes to determining a mimic from the real thing. And you can see this now starting to happen in some people's reaction to AI and the images generated by AI and the responses generated by AI. They are mixing up the mimicry of intelligence with actual intelligence. Arguably, the Turing Test was flawed from the offset, as non-sceptical humans are easily fooled. We also suffer from a phenomenon called anthropomorphism. Quote, anthropomorphism is the attribution of human traits, emotions, or intentions to non-human entities. It is considered to be an innate tendency of human psychology, end quote. And I have a link to the article on that in my show notes for this episode. But in essence, what they're talking about here, guys, is we tend to attribute human qualities to non-human entities. This can be our pets. It can be other types of animals and animal behavior. It can even be innate objects. We have this strange capacity to develop empathy for things that are not human. And how we start to show that empathy is we start to attach human qualities to that thing, even though it doesn't actually possess them. So we start to think that an AI chatbot is a real intelligence that's talking back to us with feelings, with emotions, and none of those things exist. It's just a computer program. And again, this is something that is just built into us. It's just a quality that's innate. It's part of our DNA. We can't switch it off. We can be aware of it, but it's difficult for us to switch it off. But once we're aware of it, at least we can, put some controls in place and realize what we're doing. And that instinct was explored in the 2013 movie called Horror, starring Joaquin Phoenix. The summary of that movie is as follows, quote, Theodore Twombly, an introverted writer, buys an artificial intelligence system to help him write. However, he finds out about the AI's abilities to learn and adapt, and he falls in love with it, end quote. And I'll also include a link to that movie in the show notes. But it's a very good movie, it's worth watching, and it shows how someone who is kind of lonely can get attached to an AI and starts to think of the AI as a kind of a girlfriend, starts to form a relationship, a genuine relationship with this AI. So it's another example of anthropomorphism at work. We tend to give human qualities to something that's not human. It's very strange behavior, but this is what we do. And you're going to see more and more of this behavior as AI comes into different aspects of our lives. I think it's only a matter of time before we start having people advocating for AI rights. It's very amusing to me. So basically, we are hardwired to be fooled by mimics in nature, and there's not a lot we can do about that other than just to be aware and to try to make people who are unaware of this aware of it, because it's one thing having a blind spot and it's one thing knowing about a blind spot. It's really dangerous when somebody is unaware of this within themselves and they act it out regardless. If you are aware of it, you can do something about it. So I think the key here, guys, is to be aware of our nature and to be aware of the blind spots in our nature that I'm not going to say are going to be exploited by AI, because AI has no intent, it has no agenda. But I think it may be exploited by the humans who are marketing or selling AI. So it's just something to watch out for, and I think we're going to see more and more of this in the near future. So apart from worrying about the mimic-like qualities of AI, what else have I done this week? I finally made the release 4.0 of the Alpha framework, which is my PHP web development framework. So that's available on GitHub. And again, I will link to that in my show notes. I'm pretty happy with that release. It comes with some nice features and some nice upgrades. So yeah, definitely check that out if you're a PHP developer. In terms of media that I'm enjoying this week, I started to read The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. For some reason, I was thinking it was going to be a series of short stories, but so far it seems like it is actually a novel. Maybe I'm wrong. I've only just got about a quarter of the way through. But yeah, it's pretty strange. It's definitely not what I expected it to be. Somehow I thought it was going to be a book about humans exploring Mars, and I'm sure it will get to that. But so far it's been told from the perspective of the Martians. It starts with this kind of domestic scene with two Martians living in their house on Mars. So it's a bit strange, but it's a bit fun. It was written, I think, in 1951. I'm a huge fan of Ray Bradbury. It's a highly rated book, so I'm going to stick with it. I'm not feeling it so far, but I'm going to stick with it because it's a book that has a very strong reputation, so hopefully it will come good in the end. Okay, I will leave it there, guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week. Take care. Bye.